Imagine waking up every day surrounded only by people who uplift you, support your dreams, and bring out the best in you. Now ask yourself, are the relationships in your life truly serving you? Choosing your relationships wisely isn't just about having friends, it's about creating an environment that empowers your purpose and protects your peace. The people you allow into your world have the power to shape your journey for better or worse. So the question is, who are you allowing in? Relationships are foundational to a purposeful and fulfilling life. They are more than social gatherings or shared conversations. They are vital components that give life meaning, direction, and stability. A woman with no friends, or someone struggling with connection, often finds herself in a space that lacks shared understanding, mutual encouragement, or support. Connection is not merely about having people around you, it is about experiencing mutual trust, shared moments, and building a bridge that allows emotional and spiritual growth. The essence of connection lies in shared experiences and shared purposes. As human beings, we were created to walk alongside one another, to learn, to support, and to grow together. Many people isolate themselves because they fear rejection, judgment, or disappointment. Yet, life was never meant to be lived alone. Relationships provide insight into our own journey by serving as mirrors that reveal who we are and who we can become. When you connect with others, you gain perspectives that challenge your assumptions, open you to growth, and build resilience in ways isolation cannot. The power of connection also comes from shared moments of joy, laughter, pain, and struggle. These moments, whether they are as simple as sharing a cup of coffee or as challenging as navigating a crisis, strengthen bonds and provide perspective. True connection allows individuals to lean on each other, to find encouragement, and to experience life as part of a greater community. This is not a passive experience. Connection requires both parties to show up with authenticity, vulnerability, and willingness. It is about giving and receiving trust, support, and care without reservation. Many people underestimate the role connection plays in the journey toward purpose. A woman without friends or a person without meaningful relationships may struggle with identifying her personal value or path. This is because connection brings affirmation. It reassures us that we are seen, valued, and understood. It allows us to learn about ourselves through interactions with others, exposing strengths, weaknesses, fears, and desires. Without connection, we are left without this essential feedback loop. Human beings are naturally relational creatures. We thrive when we are in environments that nurture companionship and shared purpose. Connection is also about partnership, building networks that empower you to move forward. It allows you to access wisdom, guidance, encouragement, and shared resources. Life becomes significantly harder when you try to navigate it alone, because we were not created to walk every journey by ourselves. Every success, every breakthrough is made easier with the support and presence of trusted individuals who bring perspective and encouragement. Connection enables collaboration, partnership, and shared growth, and it builds a foundation that allows you to expand your influence and fulfill your goals. Sometimes the absence of friends can lead to feelings of loneliness, and loneliness can be a heavy weight that clouds one's ability to live in joy and purpose. Yet loneliness is not always about physical separation. Some people are surrounded by many yet still feel emotionally isolated because they lack genuine, vulnerable connection. The key is to foster relationships that are rooted in trust, shared purpose, and mutual care. Vulnerability allows relationships to deepen because it shows trust, authenticity, and a willingness to invest in another's life. When you give yourself permission to connect and to trust, you open the door for transformative relationships. Understanding the power of connection requires one to recognize that relationships are not passive occurrences. You must actively invest time, attention, and effort into nurturing friendships. Connection does not happen by accident. It comes with conscious choices to open your heart, to listen, to share, and to invest in others. Many people fear the risk of rejection, but those risks can lead to relationships that empower, inspire, and affirm purpose. The power of connection is not just about finding others to fill emotional needs. It's about mutual growth and shared experience. It's about offering your wisdom, your compassion, your encouragement, and your strength to someone else while allowing them to do the same for you. Shared experiences bind people together in ways that isolation can never replicate. Every moment shared, every laugh, every challenge, every success becomes the foundation for a lasting, meaningful relationship. Connection has the power to transform lives because it provides both belonging and purpose. Everyone desires to know that they matter, that they are valued, and that they are seen. When you allow yourself to connect with others, you give yourself the opportunity to live a richer, more fulfilled life, one that is grounded in partnership, shared experiences, and mutual growth. Never underestimate the power of a simple connection. It could lead to transformation, healing, and purpose in ways you never imagined. Friendship is far more than casual companionship. It is a reflection of purpose and the values that define who we are. Every meaningful relationship serves as a mirror, showing us our strengths, our weaknesses, our desires, and the direction of our journey. When we examine our friendships through the lens of purpose, we begin to understand that they are not random, they are connected to the mission we are meant to fulfill. The relationships we build are evidence of the values we carry and the journey we are on. Friendships reveal what is important to us and the contribution we are called to make in the lives of others. A purposeful friendship is rooted in shared vision and shared growth. True friends are not just those who are present during joyful moments, but those who are aligned with your goals and aspirations. They are people who support your journey, challenge you to grow, and inspire you to be the best version of yourself. These relationships are built on mutual respect, understanding, and shared commitment to personal and spiritual development. Purpose connects two people and allows them to build a bridge that leads to shared discovery, learning, and impact. Every person is created with unique gifts, talents, and abilities. These gifts are meant to be shared with the world, and friendships are opportunities to use those gifts to make a difference in someone else's life. A friend should inspire you to discover your purpose and align your actions with it. They should hold you accountable to your goals, support you during challenging seasons, and celebrate your victories with you. Likewise, you are meant to do the same for them. Friendship becomes a shared journey, one where both parties bring encouragement, wisdom, and purpose to the table. Friendship, as a reflection of purpose, is about alignment, finding individuals who are on similar paths or who have values that complement your own. The people you connect with should challenge you to grow, strengthen your faith, and push you toward your calling. Often we find ourselves in relationships with people who do not share the same purpose or vision, and these relationships can leave us feeling drained or misaligned. Purposeful friendships thrive because they are grounded in shared values, mutual understanding, and the desire to encourage one another toward a higher calling. Understanding friendship as a reflection of purpose also means understanding that not all friendships are meant to last. Some friendships serve a specific time or purpose in our lives, and when they no longer align with our growth, we must learn to release them with gratitude. Friendships should never become stagnant or destructive. When aligned with purpose, they empower you to continue growing and discovering more about yourself and the path you are meant to take. Purposeful friendships lead to partnerships that can change the course of your life. A true friend will help you clarify your vision, provide guidance when you are uncertain, and give you strength during seasons of doubt. Similarly, by being a friend to others, you empower them to find clarity and confidence in their own journey. These relationships become vehicles for shared success, mutual encouragement, and fulfillment. You see, friendships are not just about having someone to share your moments with. They are about sharing your journey with someone who understands and believes in your mission. When you connect with others based on purpose, you create a support system that allows you to live life boldly and with clarity. Friends can become allies in discovering your strengths, in overcoming obstacles, and in defining what you were created to accomplish. They challenge you to dig deeper into your gifts, refine your perspective, and align your actions with the mission that is uniquely designed for your life. The friendships you foster are not simply about shared time or conversation, but about shared vision and intentionality. To recognize friendship as a reflection of purpose, you must first understand your own purpose. Knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you are called to do is the foundation for building meaningful and lasting friendships. Purpose gives your life direction, and it also gives others clarity about how they can support you on your journey. When friendships are built on shared purpose, they become unshakable bonds, grounded in vision, trust, and mutual encouragement. Friendships are reflections of what we value and aspire to be. They are an opportunity to invest time, wisdom, and love into another person while allowing them to do the same for you. Purposeful friendships are partnerships that bring joy, growth, and fulfillment. They are more than social connections. They are divine opportunities to live a life of contribution, shared learning, and meaningful impact. They remind you that your journey is not just about your success, but about the connections you make along the way. True friendship reflects the alignment of purpose. It brings meaning to every shared step, every challenge, and every triumph. Isolation is often misunderstood as simply being alone or physically distant from others, but it is much more than a physical state. It is, at its core, a condition of the mind, a mental and emotional barrier that prevents a person from truly connecting with others, even when surrounded by people. A person can be in a crowded room, surrounded by friends, family, and colleagues, yet still feel entirely alone because isolation is not a result of physical absence, but a mindset that separates individuals from connection and shared experiences. Understanding this is key to overcoming the barriers that prevent meaningful relationships and personal growth. Isolation as a state of the mind is born out of fear, pride, past hurts, or insecurity. It can manifest as a defense mechanism when someone has been hurt by rejection, betrayal, or disappointment. To avoid further pain, a person might choose to close themselves off from the possibility of connection. While this may feel safe in the moment, isolation prevents growth and locks a person into a cycle of loneliness and stagnation. The longer someone remains in this state, the harder it becomes to break free from it. Isolation creates a false sense of protection, but often leads to emotional, spiritual, and psychological distance from the world and those who could offer support. Many people isolate themselves because they fear judgment or rejection. They believe that others won't understand their struggles, their fears, or their dreams. This belief fosters a mindset that isolates them even further, as they assume that sharing their true selves will only lead to pain or misunderstanding. Yet, the irony is that isolation only compounds feelings of disconnection. When you are unwilling to open up and trust, you lose the opportunity to experience the joy, healing, and strength that come from genuine connection with others. Another layer of isolation stems from pride. Some people believe they can navigate life on their own, refusing to rely on anyone else for support or companionship. This mindset, though well-intentioned, can become a prison. Pride denies vulnerability, and vulnerability is the very foundation of deep, authentic relationships. Without the willingness to share, to trust, and to depend on others, a person builds walls that prevent meaningful bonds from forming. The result is a life that feels lonely and unfulfilled, despite having access to opportunities for connection. Insecurity is another mental barrier that creates isolation. When someone struggles with self-worth or questions their value, they may retreat inward, convincing themselves that they are unworthy of friendship, connection, or love. These beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies as isolation reinforces these feelings. The longer someone allows insecurity to dictate their perspective, the more isolated they feel. They live in a cycle of doubt and disconnection, unable to see that their thoughts can be reshaped through faith, healing, and intentional effort. Breaking free from isolation begins with understanding that it is a choice, a mental choice, rather than an unchangeable reality. A person must recognize that their mind is both the obstacle and the solution. Overcoming this state requires vulnerability, the willingness to face fear, to trust, and to step out of emotional hiding. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength. It allows a person to open their heart, to share their story, and to connect deeply with others. Vulnerability allows healing to take place, relationships to form, and trust to be built. It's important to note that isolation does not mean someone must suddenly immerse themselves in a large social circle or overly extroverted environments. Overcoming isolation is not about the number of people in your life. It is about the quality of the relationships you choose to nurture. It is about finding safe spaces, building trust, and connecting with individuals who support your growth and affirm your value. Relationships can begin in small steps through acts of trust, sharing, and kindness. It's not about perfection, it's about intentionality and willingness. Isolation, when left unchecked, can rob a person of joy, growth, and fulfillment. It can lead to a life of missed opportunities, emotional suffering, and spiritual emptiness. However, the journey from isolation to connection is always possible. It begins by choosing to confront the fears, doubts, and insecurities that keep you trapped. It requires the courage to step outside of your comfort zone, to trust again, and to seek understanding and shared experiences with others. The key is to remember that you are never alone unless you choose to be. Every step toward connection, every choice to trust, and every act of vulnerability is a step toward freedom. Breaking free from isolation is a journey of healing and transformation. You have the power to rewrite your story by shifting your mindset from one of fear and disconnection to one of hope, trust, and connection. Once you begin to change the way you see relationships, you will discover that isolation is not a permanent state, but merely a barrier that can be overcome with courage, faith, and intentional effort. Building new connections is not always easy. It requires courage, the kind of courage that allows a person to step out of their comfort zone, take risks, and open their heart to the possibility of rejection, misunderstanding, or even failure. Many people find themselves stuck in isolation because they are afraid of what it means to put themselves out there, to trust, and to invite others into their journey. However, building meaningful relationships is not about perfection. It is about having the strength to try, to learn, and to grow through each interaction. Courage becomes the foundation for creating connections that have the power to transform lives. Stepping into new relationships demands vulnerability, and vulnerability is often uncomfortable. It requires sharing a part of yourself, your thoughts, your fears, your dreams, and your experiences with someone else. Vulnerability can feel risky because it exposes your emotions and your innermost thoughts to another person. What if they reject you? What if they misunderstand you? These questions can paralyze you and keep you from making the effort to connect. Yet, without vulnerability, there can be no meaningful connection. Every friendship, every bond begins with the willingness to trust and share, even when the outcome is uncertain. Building new connections can also be intimidating because it means letting go of fears. Fear of being judged, fear of being hurt, and fear of not belonging can all create mental barriers that make it easier to remain alone. These fears can become powerful obstacles, convincing a person that it is safer to stay within their own walls. However, while fear keeps you in comfort, it also keeps you isolated. It denies you the opportunity to experience the joy of shared relationships, mutual encouragement, and shared growth. Courage is the choice to face these fears and step beyond them, to choose trust over doubt and openness over secrecy. It's important to recognize that every meaningful relationship starts with a simple choice, a choice to take a step forward. This might mean introducing yourself to someone new, inviting a colleague or neighbor to join a conversation, or sharing your story in an authentic and honest way. While the first step might feel overwhelming, the act of choosing to connect creates a ripple effect. Every small act of courage builds confidence, making it easier to take the next step toward connection. Another key to building new connections is the willingness to learn and listen. Often we approach new relationships with the desire to impress or to prove ourselves, but true connection comes through curiosity and understanding. When you take the time to listen deeply to another person's story, to their experiences and challenges, you create a space for trust to develop. Listening shows respect, empathy, and a willingness to be present. It is a simple yet powerful way to demonstrate courage, because it requires you to put your own fears and insecurities aside in favor of focusing on the other person. Building connections also requires consistency. Courage isn't just about taking one step, it's about showing up repeatedly and committing time and effort to relationships. Friendships, like any meaningful connection, require care, attention, and shared experiences. They thrive when you invest time in them by showing kindness, by offering encouragement, by celebrating victories, and by supporting others in their moments of need. Consistency creates trust, and trust is the foundation of any strong relationship. Even when it feels uncomfortable, showing up and staying connected reinforces your commitment to building bonds. It is important to remember that not every connection will last forever, and that is okay. Courage does not mean forcing relationships to fit or trying to make every connection perfect. Sometimes relationships serve a purpose for a season, and when they come to an end, you can be grateful for the lessons learned and the shared moments experienced. True courage lies in understanding that every new relationship brings opportunities for growth and learning, regardless of its duration. When you step into the unknown, when you confront your fears and trust in the possibility of connection, you open doors to transformation. Every new person you meet has the potential to teach you something, to inspire you, or to challenge you in ways you've never imagined. Courage allows you to experience life beyond your own limitations, to expand your perspectives, and to create a network of support, encouragement, and shared purpose. Building new connections requires the willingness to trust again, to risk rejection, and to embrace the unknown. It demands strength, faith, and perseverance. Yet each new connection brings with it the promise of companionship, shared joy, and mutual growth. You are far stronger and more resilient than fear would have you believe. Every step you take toward connection is a step toward living a fuller, more purposeful, and more meaningful life. So take the risk, step out in faith, and allow courage to lead you toward the relationships that can transform your journey. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools a person can use to experience healing, restoration, and freedom. It is more than simply forgetting or letting go of a wrong. It is a choice, a deliberate decision to release anger, resentment, or bitterness towards someone who has hurt you. Forgiveness is not about condoning behavior or pretending that pain didn't happen. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying unhealed wounds. It allows you to break the chains of emotional pain and to step into a life of peace and restoration. Forgiveness has the ability to heal broken hearts, restore relationships, and transform not only the one who is forgiven, but also the one who chooses to forgive. At its core, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Holding on to resentment or bitterness can eat away at your emotional well-being, clouding your ability to live a full and purposeful life. When you refuse to let go of anger, you carry the weight of the pain with you, allowing it to dictate your thoughts, decisions, and emotional state. Forgiveness provides an opportunity to release this burden, to let go of the pain that holds you hostage, and to create space for healing and renewal. It allows you to break free from the cycle of anger and resentment that keeps you stuck in the past and prevents you from moving forward. Forgiveness begins with understanding that pain and betrayal are a part of life. Every person will experience hurt at some point, whether it comes from a friend, a family member, a partner, or a stranger. The key is not to deny the pain or to act as though it didn't happen, but to acknowledge it, process it, and make the conscious decision to release its hold over you. It takes strength and humility to make that choice, but it is a choice that leads to restoration and growth. Forgiveness transforms pain from a prison into a stepping stone, allowing you to learn from your experiences and to grow in strength and wisdom. One of the most difficult aspects of forgiveness is allowing yourself to trust again. When someone has hurt you deeply, the natural instinct is to build walls and protect yourself from future pain. However, forgiveness does not mean allowing yourself to be hurt again or staying in a toxic or harmful situation. It means choosing to let go of anger and bitterness while still maintaining boundaries that protect your emotional and spiritual well-being. Forgiveness opens the door to healing without requiring you to return to the same pattern of harm. It allows you to experience freedom while learning to trust in a new way. Restoration begins with the willingness to let go of the desire for revenge or for the other person to pay for their actions. It is in the act of letting go that you allow peace to enter your heart. Holding on to anger only prolongs your suffering. Revenge or bitterness will not restore what has been broken, but forgiveness can. It creates the opportunity for understanding, compassion, and growth both for you and for the person you forgive. Through forgiveness, Relationships can be mended, understanding can be established, and love can be reintroduced into spaces that were once broken by pain. Forgiveness does not always come easily, and it is not a process that can be rushed. It is a journey, and it begins with self-awareness and intentional choice. You must first examine your own heart and recognize the weight of resentment you are carrying. Then you must make the decision to let it go. It is through that choice that healing can take place. Forgiveness allows you to surrender pain, to choose peace, and to trust that you are capable of building a new beginning, free from the burdens of unhealed wounds. Restoration is the natural outcome of forgiveness. When you forgive, you create the possibility of rebuilding broken relationships and creating new ones grounded in trust, love, and understanding. Forgiveness has the power to mend broken bonds and to replace bitterness with compassion. It allows you to connect with others from a place of strength and understanding rather than anger or resentment. You can build a new foundation for relationships, one that is rooted in grace, humility, and shared growth. Forgiveness is ultimately a choice to prioritize peace over pain and freedom over bitterness. It is a declaration that you refuse to let your circumstances or pain define your life. When you forgive, you are allowing yourself to heal. You are allowing your heart to be restored. It is a choice to believe in the possibility of new beginnings, in the power of healing, and in the strength of grace. It is a reminder that while the pain of betrayal or hurt may have left a mark, you are stronger than the pain, and you can rise above it through the transformative power of forgiveness. Forgiveness as the foundation of restoration is not just about letting go of pain. It is about choosing to live a life of freedom, peace, and wholeness. It is about breaking the chains of bitterness and stepping into a new chapter, one that is not defined by the weight of the past, but by the hope of renewal and the promise of healing. Forgiveness sets you free. The relationships we choose to invest in have a profound impact on the quality of our lives, our emotional well-being, and our personal growth. Relationships are not merely social interactions or casual connections. They shape how we think, feel, and live. Choosing your relationships wisely is about understanding that every connection you allow into your life should contribute to your growth, your purpose, and your overall sense of peace. Not every person deserves access to your heart, time, and energy, and that is okay. The ability to choose the people you allow into your life is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. Choosing relationships wisely begins with knowing your own values and priorities. Every healthy and meaningful relationship is built on shared respect, trust, encouragement, and understanding. When you are clear about your values, you can identify relationships that align with those principles. You must ask yourself, does this person inspire me to grow? Do they respect my boundaries? Do they support my purpose and vision? Are they helping me become a better version of myself, or are they pulling me into negativity or destructive habits? These questions are essential because they force you to evaluate whether the connections you maintain are truly serving your well-being. Healthy relationships are rooted in mutual support and shared positivity. They are the friendships and partnerships that encourage you during difficult times, celebrate your victories, and motivate you to live with integrity and faith. They are connections that lift you rather than tear you down, that inspire you to strive toward your goals rather than hinder you with doubt or manipulation. These relationships are built on trust and communication, creating a safe space for vulnerability, growth, and shared joy. Such relationships bring out the best in you and allow you to live a balanced, purposeful, and fulfilling life. On the other hand, some relationships are toxic and can drain your emotional, mental, and spiritual energy. These relationships may involve manipulation, dishonesty, control, or negativity. They can leave you feeling weighed down, anxious, or unworthy. Toxic relationships often thrive because people fail to set boundaries, allowing others to take advantage of their time and energy. Choosing your relationships wisely means having the strength to step away from connections that harm you, even when it is difficult. It means recognizing that you have the power to prioritize your peace and emotional health by determining the types of relationships you engage in. Boundaries are an essential part of choosing relationships wisely. Establishing boundaries communicates to others what is acceptable and what is not in how they treat you. Boundaries are not meant to isolate you, but to protect your peace, energy, and sense of self. They allow you to maintain balance and ensure that relationships remain mutual, respectful, and positive. Without boundaries, relationships can become overwhelming or unhealthy, leaving you with feelings of resentment or frustration. Having the courage to set and maintain boundaries is a sign of emotional strength and self-awareness. It shows others that you value yourself enough to protect your well-being. Choosing relationships wisely also means understanding that not everyone will share the same vision, values, or path as you do, and that is okay. Every person has their own journey, and you are not obligated to bring everyone into your life or to make everyone understand your choices. Some relationships will naturally fade as time progresses, and that is not a failure. Sometimes the best decision is to let go of relationships that no longer fit your journey or serve your growth. Letting go of certain connections creates space for new, healthier ones to form relationships that align with your purpose and provide the support you need. When you choose your relationships wisely, you create an environment that fosters joy, growth, and encouragement. The right people are those who stand with you in challenging times, who celebrate with you during moments of triumph, and who encourage you to live a life of integrity, faith, and ambition. They understand your vision, value your uniqueness, and are willing to grow alongside you. They are relationships rooted in mutual respect, trust, and shared purpose. It is important to recognize that every relationship is a two-way street. Just as you choose the relationships you allow into your life, you must also be the kind of friend, partner, or companion who enriches others' lives. Wise relationship choices involve offering kindness, understanding, encouragement, and support to others while seeking the same in return. Healthy relationships are reciprocal. They allow both parties to thrive, learn, and grow together. Choosing relationships wisely is not about perfection. It is about intentionality, the willingness to evaluate your connections, set boundaries, and invest your time in relationships that align with your growth and purpose. Every person you choose to welcome into your life has the potential to bring joy, understanding, healing, and shared success. Likewise, you have the ability to be that person for someone else. You have the ability to choose wisely, to set an example of kindness, respect, and integrity, and to build a circle of relationships that lift you, inspire you, and propel you toward your calling. In the end, the relationships you choose are an investment in your future. They shape the way you see yourself, the way you see the world, and the kind of life you live. By choosing your relationships wisely, you create the foundation for peace, joy, and purpose, one connection at a time. Prioritize relationships that add value to your life, encourage your personal growth, and align with your vision. Let go of the ones that drain your energy or pull you away from the person you are meant to become. You are worthy of relationships that nurture, support, and inspire you. Choose wisely and live a life of connection, intention, and peace.